I could use that, money elsewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
You can reward yourself for not getting a ticket, Nathan, and put every month the money that you would have gotten a ticket for that you didn't, put that into your savings account too.
For something more
more meaningful,
glamorous.
Yeah.
Trip to Hawaii.
Yeah, trip to Hawaii. I want to go to Thailand.
Do you?
So I've got a ways. But
Okay, that's okay.
There you go, and then
get
you can
started.
call it the Thailand Fund.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it'll start to grow.
Yeah.
You'll start to put money in there.
Yeah, it's very true.
I have a question. It's completely full circle. Back to earlier with the health. What is the penalties right now, and what are they changing to?
You know what? I'm not sure what the monetary value is because it's based on your income.
Okay.
And so when I spoke to my accountant when I did my taxes this year, he, the first thing that they ask you when they do your income taxes is, do you have health insurance and were you covered for X amount of time throughout the year? So that's the first thing they ask. And the reason why is because, and when I had a discussion with him about, what's going on with the care and what are the penalties, it's all going to be income based. And so, but what they, starting out the process, you can't overwhelm people. When you first you make a law that you have to have health insurance, right?
Right.
That's a big enough law in its own.
Yes.
So, but they need to they need to have them follow through with this law. So the way that they are going to do that is by charging a fine if you don't have health insurance. So for the 2014 fiscal year, when you filed taxes in 2015, the fine was minimal. But in speaking with my accountant, he said that their plan is to increase it, and it's all based on your income.
Okay.
But basically they want it to be, and as is the health insurance plans, they're based on your income as well. Your premiums are based on your income. So they're kind of tying it together so that the fine is equal to or more than what you would pay in a premium coverage. So why wouldn't you get coverage at that point? Because if you're paying $2,000 in tax penalties to the IRS, or to or if you're paying $2,000 for health insurance,
Right.
The better end of the deal is to pay for the health insurance, even though you'd rather not. But you're going to be paying
No matter what.
In
And
this
so they'll take it-
in this current system, you are going to be paying no matter what.
Right.
So it's better off to pay and receive something as opposed to paying a fine and receiving nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
How are people finding out about it? It's just like all of a sudden what if some people don't even know that you have to have insurance? I'm sure there's
Oh, I'm
somebody
sure,
out there.
and they
it's
will.
just like, oh, you didn't have insurance this year. You
Yeah.
didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah. And
There's
then
no way of them being like, how was I supposed to know? It's like some people don't follow that
yeah,
stuff.
it's one of those things that you will learn when you file your taxes, and unfortunately you will have to learn the hard way if you don't. So all of our listeners need to
That's
make
right.
sure, and you can check in with Covered California.
Right.
That's where you want to go. You want to go to their website.
Where?
And
Covered California.
Covered
Okay.
California, and that that's the state version.
And anybody can go at any time.
You can go
Yes.
and it's their website. They'll give you a bunch of health care information, and how to. There's, I think you can even apply and get different pricing
Online,
quotes
yeah.
online, and
Yeah,
And there's
you
a
can.
number. There's a phone number if you need help.
And if you think that you qualify, I can't remember what it's called. Medi-Cal, is that what it's called?
yeah, Medicare,
And that's for lower income.
Yes.
And I talked to them too, and I went back and forth between Covered California and Medi-Cal, and that's I ended up being able to get a plan
Yeah.
that really worked for me.
And this is your money, so take the time
Right.
to investigate your options. If this is something you have to do, take the time to go and read the Covered California website and see what your options are. Take the time to call different health carriers, whether it's Kaiser, HealthNet,
Right.
Blue Shield, call them up. Take the yes, it might be a pain in the butt. It might take a few hours.
But it's your
But at least
it's
it
your
has the
money.
Right. You'll get what's right for you.
Yeah.
You'll find it's kind of like car insurance and renter's insurance and homeowner's insurance. It is a pain in the butt to do.
Gosh.
But when you need it, you need it, and you're going to be
And you're
happy
thankful that you have
it. And
Yes.
you're also you're going to be thankful that you called Geico versus State Farm, or State Farm versus whoever. Call around and get different pricing. And
That's right.
if you can save yourself $50 a month, that's $50 towards your Hawaii fund.
That's right.
And so yes, it might be a pain in the butt for a couple of hours, but those couple of hours, let's say you save yourself $50 a month. We're talking $600 a year for those couple of hours that were a pain in the butt in your life. So let me tell you, if somebody
Time's money.
said that they would
That's
pay
right.
me $600 for sitting on the phone for 3 hours, you
Yeah.
better believe I would
Right?
take it.
Yes, definitely. And when you put it in that type of perspective, you don't
Yeah.
mind doing it. You're like, okay, it's going to be 3 hours. Let me just get ready for it, but it's going to save me $600.
That's $200 an hour.
That's
a
$200
great
an
job.
hour. That's
Yeah.
a great
You know?
job.
That's why I like this. I think it's relatively new compared to other industries, but the finance coaching industry that I don't know technically what it's called, but the finance coaching industry, I feel like it's so valuable because
It
of
is.
those types of analogies.
Yeah.
Because you just don't think of it
Yeah.
like if I sit on the phone for a few hours, like I'm technically I could end up getting paid like $100 an hour.
Well, and that's part of the thing I tell my clients. Don't
motivating.
get complacent with your utilities, like your cell phone and your internet and your car insurance and all of these things that you pay, that you have to pay to
Right.
live your life. Don't get complacent, because if you're complacent and you just pay the bill every month, they will just raise your rates every month, like
That's right.
every year. They'll just keep going up. However, if you're one of those people who calls and says, "Oh, well, T-Mobile is offering me this. What are
you gonna do?"
I tell you, they will do it. I mean, I call my cable provider at least once a year, because when you start, it starts off at $49.95,
Right.
and then before you know it, it's $150.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But if you call them, and personally, I have Dish, and I called them and I said, well, Comcast is offering this, and they matched it. That was $60 a month I
Savings.
saved in one phone call. That is $700
And
a year.
that's right. $720 a year that
in
she
one
saved.
phone call.
That's
One.
More money
Yes,
for the
that's
Hawaii
Yes, I
funds.
had to wait on hold. Yes, I had to press 3-4 times.
Right.
Yes, I had to say customer service now. but $720. So
Right.
so when you think about it like that,
Para
one
español,
One phone call.
one phone call, and that's just one. That's one provider. You've got your cell phone, you've got internet, you've got
Right.
all of these providers, and when you start, calling them, I guarantee you will save money, and that's all money that can be directed into a savings account.
so
Now that's the
crazy.
point. Let's stop right
Yeah.
there. But take that $60 savings and put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't just, it's a $60 savings. Wow, wow, wow. And now it's being, it just goes out into the air. Take it and direct it into one of those sub savings funds that you
saying
have.
how hard it is to save.
That's where you start.
This is money that you can start saving without having to
It's like
adjust your
savings on
budget.
both ends.
Right.
Yeah.
So make a list of all of the, all of the different companies that you have to pay on a monthly basis, and go back to them and have your bill and get them to lower those payments. And the amount they lower the payment the very next month. So if you do it for October and it starts in November, then in November you take all of that savings and you start saving it in that sub savings account. Right?
And you're not changing your life.
And you're
one
not,
bit.
and you haven't changed
your
your life
has
at
not
all.
changed. You're still doing the same things. If you were going out to dinner twice a week, you're still going out to dinner. But all of a sudden, you have an additional amount that's funneling into the savings account, and that's growing, and your life is staying the same. However, if you can then jiggle your budget and find more for your savings, just think about, and like your savings starts to snowball. You've
Yes.
got, if you get it, an online account with a little bit of interest. Granted, interest rates are really low right now, but I mean, that's free money.
That's
Yeah.
free money.
That is free money, so let's say that, you're getting $3 a month. That's $3 a month you didn't have the
That's
month before.
right.
And it all just starts to
It
compound.
starts to
and
roll
grow.
and compound and grow.
It's
Oh my
interesting because
goodness.
it's basically doing investigation that the businesses aren't going to tell you.
That's
Oh,
right.
no.
I was
No,
just
because they're
informed
profiting
by
from it.
Matthew that if your phone is paid off within 2 years,
Yes.
and you call them and tell them like I'm done with my contract and everything, they won't tell you, but they actually will lower the monthly payment by $15,
Right.
or something like that. And same with like I've worked at restaurants where people will order something individually, but there's actually a special, but I'm not going to tell them because I want their bill to be higher.
Right.
But people, if you ask and you investigate, like you got to help yourself navigate the person to tell you the answers that you want to find.
That's right. That's right. Now, Ari, I know that we are such disciplined people that we're going to do everything you said.
Yep.
Everything you
Go
said.
to Target and get
But
my notebooks.
there you go. But there are people who want to get in contact with you who may need your help. So if you give us your contact information, because we'll keep jabbering and then be like, whoa, we out of time. And then everybody will be like, but what is her phone number? What is her name?
So my website is themoneystylist.com.
Yes.
And when you go there, you have the option to sign up for my blog, which I say, please do. I don't send it out very often. It's once every month to 6 weeks. So
Okay.
I'm not going to be sending you something every day.
Right.
But I send a lot of free stuff. The
Yes, you
stuff we
do.
talk about today, I give away a lot of that stuff for free. And so, but you may need some extra help. You may, need that coach to keep you on track.
That's right.
And, through my website, you can send me an email or give me a call at the office, and we'll set up a strategy session to see what it is that, you need to get you going, get you motivated, get you on a
Right.
plan. So definitely visit themoneystylist.com.
I have to say too, from personal experience, because I signed up for your newsletter, and I'm telling you, it's the only newsletter that I read, because
It's got great information.
it really does.
Well, and I write about things that are pertain to my life, and my life is very much the same as everybody else's.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you real stories, real things that happen, and how to apply the information that I'm giving you to real life situations.
Exactly. That's why I read it. Is it's very easy to take that information and apply it to my life.
Right, because people, I know myself, sometimes you think when a person says they are an expert in this area or an expert in that area, you think their life is perfect. They can't relate to me at all. When in fact, that's not the case. Usually you get to where you are because of all of the mistakes that you've made, like spending your light bill money on shoes and your lights get cut off. I won't say who did that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it. You become an expert half of the time by learning what not to do.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
So, and I'm happy to share those stories with my clients, and my readers, because I can tell you a lot of what not to do. So.
Exactly. And that's how most people become the expert. Is either they're fascinated by something, so they delve into it, or because they've made the mistakes, and that's why they know better. I've made a lot of mistakes, so I know a whole lot better. Not because I was an expert, because you sometimes you make the mistakes and you learn from them, and you want to prevent someone else from making those same mistakes, getting a little further ahead, a little quicker, right? So, this is good. Yes, so that's you kind of almost fail your way to success, and when people become comfortable with that, and that's a phrase that I like to use, is to fail your way to success, because you're not going to be great at everything every time. You're not, you know, you're going to make mistakes, you're not going to save all the money you thought you would unless you have a plan, and that's why today is so important.
Well, I call it failing forward.
Failing forward.
And you learn from your mistakes. And so, we're talking about our savings and borrowing from ourselves. So that's not to say that, let's say you borrow from yourself, that's not to say that you have to spend the next week beating yourself up and being like, I'm never going to be able to save. I'm just going to stop. This is an opportunity for you to learn that I don't want to do this again.
That's right.
I'm going to stand back up. I'm going to fail forward, and I'm not going to repeat the same mistake.
Exactly. I love that. And you know what? We had 100 questions to ask you, and we got through maybe 3 or 4 of them. But that just sets us up for you to come back on the show. And if someone has a question that you didn't answer, they can always call you. They can contact you. They can get on your newsletter list and get the information.
And I'm on
it's
Facebook
available.
too. So,
and she's on Facebook.
So, if they want to ask me a question on Facebook, if you want it to be private, just PM me on Facebook on The Money Stylist. And I'll answer your questions. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Wow.
and if there's something that you want our listeners and viewers, if there's anything that you want Ari to cover, she will be back.
That's right. So
you can reach out to us on our YouTube.
and ask,
wherever.
Facebook. We have a Facebook now too, so you can do that. And then also you can talk to us over YouTube, and just subscribe, and just put in a little, I want to hear about this next time, and we'll ask, and we promise the questions that our listeners want to know, we'll cover those. Okay. Ari, it's been a pleasure. Always. Thank you so much for coming back. Please promise to come back again.
Absolutely.
Okay. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. This is Miss Charlene, and we've had a great time with Ari Gold.